At the beginning of the film, we are shown that the Clark Comet has destroyed most of the Earth. Even after many years, the planet has not fully recovered, and pieces of the comet are still falling. Because of this, the Garrity family survives by hiding in a bunker in Greenland along with other people. The people living in the bunker are trying to rebuild the world, but the new reality has become completely chaotic. Radiation has burned many areas, and sudden electromagnetic storms destroy everything in their path. Because of this, people are forced to live underground. After 5 years, everyone somehow adapts to the new living conditions. Now, John Garrity works as an engineer and explorer. He goes on missions to check dangerous areas. During one mission, John sees a new crack opening in the ground, with lava flowing out. He moves toward the sea and sees several lifeboats and a destroyed cruise ship on shore. He checks them, but finds that they are all empty. Looking for something useful, John enters the ship. The base warns him that a storm is forming, but it will take some time to reach him. John starts coughing badly and removes his mask. While searching the ship, he finds a flower inside a book. Then the base informs him that the storm has already reached his area and that he must leave immediately. John runs out of the ship, and the storm follows right behind him. He runs toward the base and asks them to open the door. They open it but say they cannot keep it open for long, or the radioactive storm will enter. John tells them to close the door. He reaches just in time and jumps through the doors as they are closing. Inside the base, John's wife Allison has become one of the leaders. She is in a meeting with other leaders. Adam, one of them, says that their supplies are already low. He hopes they can try to plant crops outside next year. But Dr. Amina says this will not be possible. She believes they will have to leave the base by air because it is no longer sustainable. She explains that Canada and the United States have been completely destroyed and Iceland has disappeared. Allison says she has heard that Western Europe is relatively safer because there are fewer storms there. But others remind her that radiation is still present there. Even small amounts of radiation are harmful in the long term. Someone asks about the crater. Dr. Amina explains that the main part of the comet, which fell in Western Europe, created a massive crater. Along with their colleagues, the team sees that the mountains and the depth of the crater are blocking the radioactive winds. However, the general says that this area is very far from Greenland, and reports are coming in about fierce fighting in Europe. After the meeting, John goes to meet a psychologist. The doctor tells him that he should share everything with his partner. Suddenly, the bunker starts shaking, but the general says there is nothing to worry about and that the bunker can even survive an earthquake. Allison asks again about the distress signal they received earlier. But Adam says they cannot take in more people because the bunker is already full. Allison does not want to leave them behind, so she asks for a vote. The majority votes in favor of a rescue. The general says he will send a rescue team the next day. John and Allison's son, Nathan, attends school inside the bunker. He becomes interested in stars. The teacher explains that a part of the comet is still trapped in Earth's gravitational field and has formed a ring around the planet. John is fixing the water plumbing system with one of his friends. Allison and Nathan go to the community hall and find him there. John gives Allison the flower he found. Allison is worried about John's missions because he is exposing himself to radiation. Then she tells him that Nathan was seen outside. John scolds his son and tells him that it is not safe outside. Later, at night, they try to relax and enjoy themselves. They dance a little together. Nathan goes to his room and makes holes in his bedsheet so he can look at the stars. The next morning, a team leaves for the rescue mission. Leaders and military personnel supervise the operation. The team rescues some people and starts returning to the base. John goes back to work and notices a crack forming in one of the walls. At the same time, the rescue team asks for permission to go to a second location where more people are trapped. Adam says they cannot take that risk. Suddenly, contact with the team is lost. The bunker starts shaking again. The power goes out, and everyone runs to save themselves as the entire place begins to collapse. After the earthquake, John runs toward his wife. He holds her and checks if she is okay. She is safe. Then they rush to find their son. Nathan is also fine, and he is already wearing his mask and ready. John tells Nathan to take the important supplies and his insulin because he is diabetic. Wearing their masks, they start leaving the bunker. But the main exit is crowded with people. John leads them to another exit, but that one has collapsed. Still, they somehow manage to get out. They run toward the outside. Nathan helps Dr. Amina on the way. After that, they move toward the sea, where people are already trying to get into lifeboats. Some people try to steal Adam's mask, but John helps him. During the chaos, someone steals John's mask. They somehow escape and climb into a lifeboat. They close the door because the boat is already full. The pilot takes the boat away from the shore. Suddenly, a huge wave rises and washes away the people still on the beach. But John and the others remain safe inside the boat. They only have enough supplies for 1 week, so they decide to head toward England. John checks the radiation level and sees that it is low, so they are able to remove their masks. Days pass, and problems start appearing in the boat. But John is an engineer, so he repairs it. At night, Nathan looks at the sky. They can see debris from the comet trapped in Earth's orbit. Suddenly, a meteor falls from the sky. The next morning, the boat stops again because the fuel is finished. Now, they're drifting with the ocean current. More days pass, and their boat hits something. They go outside, and John says that they have reached Liverpool, and half of the city is underwater. They bring the boat to land and realize that they must find shelter quickly. They find a rescue bunker where many people are trying to enter, but the military is guarding the entrance. They go to the gate and explain that they came from the Greenland bunker and need refuge. The soldiers ask for IDs. Only Allison still has hers. The others lost their IDs earlier. Without identification, the soldiers refuse to let them enter. Suddenly, people try to force their way inside the bunker. The soldiers shoot at them and fire more bullets to close the doors. During the chaos, a radioactive storm is coming. They leave quickly because Adam is dead now. All 4 of them stop a car and ask for a ride. The driver asks for John's watch in return, and John gives it to him. They manage to escape the radioactive storm. Dr. Amina asks, "Is it like this everywhere?" The driver replies that people are now willing to kill just to survive. He says the storms can appear anywhere and destroy everything in their path. They decide to go to London, where Allison's friend Mackenzie lives. She has everything needed to survive. Soon, the driver stops and tells them that London is only 30 minutes away. John tells the driver that the crater might just be a myth. Nathan walks closer to his father, and suddenly the ground begins to shake. John shouts for everyone to hold on. He grabs Nathan and presses himself against a tree. Meteors start falling. John sees the driver running toward the car and tries to stop him, but the driver does not listen. At that moment, the driver is hit by meteor debris and is killed. After the meteor shower ends, they come out. They take their supplies from the car and start walking toward London. They reach Mackenzie's house. She's happy to see them and invites them inside. The house is full of Alzheimer's patients. She explains that they have no idea about the meteors, and this has now become her life. At night, John asks her about the crater. She says she has only heard rumors about it. Then they hear gunshots in the distance. But Mackenzie tells them not to worry because London is safe. She has secured the area as much as possible. Later that night, while they are sleeping, Allison notices that John is coughing up blood. She is shocked. John tells her that working in radioactive air has affected him and that he only has 6 weeks left to live. He says he does not want them to worry about it. Allison says that there is a hospital nearby where John can get treatment, but John refuses because he does not want to die there. He tells everyone that they must reach the crater and explains that he wants to spend his last days helping them find a safe place. The next day, they prepare to leave, and Mackenzie gives them a car, supplies, and a gun for protection before urging them to go quickly. She tells them they will need a boat later to cross the English Channel. During the long drive, they play games to pass the time, but suddenly Amina is shot when someone attacks them to steal their car. They jump out, and John grabs the gun and fires back. A man tries to attack from behind, but John knocks him down. When John runs out of bullets and another attacker approaches, Allison uses the dead man's gun to shoot. They check on Nathan and find that he is safe, but Amina does not survive. They bury her and give her a proper farewell. And when Nathan asks why people pray for the dead, John explains that it brings good luck in the afterlife. After several more hours of driving, they reach the English Channel and are shocked to see that the sea has disappeared, leaving solid land between Great Britain and France. Since they no longer need a boat, they continue driving into France. Soon, they come to a massive canyon where many cars are stopped and survivors have built a bridge to cross it. Nathan becomes frightened, but John encourages him to be brave. They begin crossing the narrow bridge as strong winds blow around them. A powerful gust nearly knocks them off, but they manage to hold on and reach the central platform. However, more bridges still remain. Suddenly, the ground begins to shake, forcing them to move quickly. They crawl across a ladder bridge as another earthquake strikes, and although the rope bridge collapses and many people fall into the canyon, they keep going. The ladder bridge shakes violently, and a desperate man jumps onto it, crashing into Nathan. Nathan holds on tightly while John grabs him as the platform collapses. In the end, they rush forward and reach the other side safely, just as the entire structure falls into the canyon. They continue walking toward France, but everything around them is completely destroyed. Suddenly, a man points a gun at them. John introduces himself and explains that they only want to reach the crater. The man tells them to come with him and takes them to an abandoned mill that he now uses as his home. He runs the place on solar energy and uses air filters to survive. He introduces them to his wife and his daughter, Camilla. His wife is paralyzed and unable to speak because of radioactive air exposure. They all eat together, and the man asks why they want to go to the crater. John explains that it is the promised land and their last hope. The man warns them that the area is extremely dangerous. The next morning, the Frenchman gives them a map and tells John that when he reaches the Western Alliance base, he must meet Commander Janet and show her the photo because they were friends and she will help them reach the crater. He then asks them to take his daughter Camilla with them. Allison agrees to bring Camilla to the crater. After that, they begin their journey again. Along the way, they stop to rest, but some soldiers spot them and warn them in French that the area is restricted. Camilla explains in French that they're looking for Commander Janet, who is her father's friend. Later that night, a soldier secretly guides them through the war zone. After passing countless dead bodies, the soldiers lead them to a truck and drop them off at a military base camp. At the base camp, they finally reach Commander Janet's area. Camilla says that the mountains look new and the crater might be behind them. They notice that many civilians are waiting for permission to go to the crater. John shows the photo to the officer in charge and asks about Commander Janet, but he is told that she is no longer there. The officer says they cannot help and orders them to leave. John pleads with the soldiers, explaining that he is a dying man who only wants to take his family to the crater. Hearing this, one soldier tells the bus crew to make space for them. They are allowed to board the bus, and at last, they depart toward the crater. On the way, the bus is attacked and several guards are killed. The driver is also shot. The attackers order everyone to get off the bus, and all the passengers are forced outside. Suddenly, John attacks one of the bandits, and the others manage to take down another attacker. Gunshots are heard from inside the bus. John comes back out, but he is badly injured. Everyone gets back on the bus, and Allison begins driving. After some time, the bus can no longer move, so they get off and decide to climb on foot. With help from others, John slowly makes his way up the mountains. When they finally reach the top, they see the Clark crater, and the area is completely free from radioactive air. At that moment, John collapses and says that seeing his family reach safety has given him peace. John then passes away. After this, Nathan repeats the same words his father once said, and with that, the movie comes to an end.